Hello everyone. So today, we are discussing introduction to SPA and Angular. So what is SPA? Okay. So SPA is nothing but single page application. So before get into this single page application, let's understand few terminology. Okay. So first important thing is how web work. Okay. So before get into the web internal working, so let's understand few terminology. Personal computer. What is a personal computer? So personal computer, here we are referring any laptop or your PC or any device, okay, that you are using. Then network and internet connection. Okay, so what is the network? So network is connection of two or more computer. Okay, and what is internet? Internet is nothing but connection of two or more networks. Okay, so the two networks are we are connecting, okay, through the internet connection. Okay, so we are using various internet connection provider to establish the connectivity. Okay, so then most important thing is web browser. Okay, so what is web browser? So in your computer we have a software. Okay, so using this web browser we can uh, we can browse any web pages. Okay, yeah. Then web server. What is web server? So web server is like server computer. Okay, so in network there are two most common terminology. One is client and one is the server. So what is the client? Okay, it is a computer, okay, with the client system which actually accesses some resources, okay, who requests some resources to server, and server sending some response to client. Okay, so this is web server which is processing actual client request. Okay, so how that requests are getting processed? Okay, so these requests are getting processed via HTTP protocol. So there are different protocols to communicate through, to make a communication from client and server. Okay, so this HTTP transfer protocol, okay, it is used to make communication between client and server. Okay, so let's understand how it works. Okay, let's consider you have one browser. Okay, and you have one server. So whenever, like when you are opening your browser, right, yeah, so in that browser you are entering something URL. Okay, so URL nothing but uniform resource locator. So this URL, okay, so which is located here, so you are entering something Google, www.google.com, let's say. Okay, that time that browser will send request to server via the internet connection. So yeah, so through the internet connection, right, this is internet connection. So from that, okay, you are sending some HTTP request. Okay, you are sending HTTP request to server. So how it will reach to server? We have different terminology like domain name system. Okay, so DNS. Okay, so whenever you're entering something Google, so we are not going in detail that, like whenever you're entering some DNS, so it will map to that which server is that one and it will connect. Okay, and then we are getting response back from the server. Okay, so what is the response? So in response we are getting some pages like web pages. Yeah, so this is a web page. Okay, so these all these like terminology we are referring to web. So web is nothing but the collection of, like web is collection of the internet connected computers, and where we are uh, accessing different resources, okay, globally. The Yeah, so web is nothing but world wide web. Okay, that we are referring here, www. Yeah, the or we can say W3. Okay, now, yeah, let's understand other few things. Okay, so what is a DOM? Okay, so just now we discuss what is the web page, right? So whenever we're sending some response to client, right, so that time that response, it is in the form of web page. Okay, so that web page have its own structure. Okay, so this has its own structure. Let's say you are entering www.google.com. That time you are getting some Google image, right? And then you are getting some search bar, some button, search button, all these things you are getting, right? So this whole page is nothing but one page. Yeah, so it is representing some DOM objects. Okay, so let's understand few terminology. Okay, so let's consider this example. Okay, here what we have this is a web page. So here, as a programmer, we should know how the structure is this. So all these web page are we are writing in HTML. Okay, so later when we are starting actual coding, okay, that time we'll see what it's mean each tag, what is the meaning of each tag and why we're using. For now, for just understanding of Windows and DOM object, right? So let's consider this example. Okay, here, okay, so this web page is nothing but, okay, total Windows object. So it is a parent of this page. Okay, it is referring to that, and that JavaScript has its own functions. Okay, so for Windows it has onload function, and on loading of this page, okay, when the server sending response back to the client, that time we are doing some activity. So here, right, we are sending some response back to the client. That time what we are doing, we are creating some element in DOM, we are adding some text, okay, and we are appending to the body. So here, okay, what is the purpose of DOM? So DOM is nothing but document object model. Okay, so what is the purpose of DOM? So DOM is used to yeah, so to make some interaction with the web pages. Okay, so let's say we have to change some style means some colors. Okay, we have to add some images to our web page, we have to add some content to web pages, some dynamically, right? So to do this all this activity, we are doing DOM manipulation. Okay, so so DOM is playing very important role in the web page. Yeah. Thank you.